So how many of you guys know exactly what you want to do after you graduate? Okay. And how many of you are still a little bit confused or you're still trying to figure it out? Okay. And my last question is, how many of you guys can recall either taking a class or simply having a teacher that really made an effort to focus on helping you figure out exactly what you want to do and how to find a career that you're truly passionate about? 1, 2, 3. That's a small number. What I find ironic is that we spend so much time learning all this stuff, and yet we hardly ever take the time to learn what we actually want to do with it. We spend so much time learning all this information, regurgitating it for standardized tests, and to try to get a job. But we never stop to think, what kind of job would we actually love to do? What would make us happy? And schools failing to neglect this is actually the #1 reason that most people in the United States are unhappy at their job and do not enjoy what they do. And while this may not seem that shocking to some of you, I actually found some statistics that are pretty shocking. There's an organization called the Conference Board, and they've been studying job satisfaction and work attitudes for the past 22 years. And in 1987, the first year they did it, 61% of Americans said that they were satisfied at work. When they did the same survey this year, January 5th, 2010, only 45% of people said that they were satisfied at work. That means that 55% of people are unhappy. It's become a majority. It's more than half. And it gets worse. The age group that's actually the most unhappy and reported the highest levels of dissatisfaction is our age group. People 25 and younger reported only 35% job satisfaction. But once again, it gets worse. Only 20% of people said that they're actually passionate about what they do, and 15% of people said that they're extremely satisfied at their job. That means that 80% of people are not passionate about what they do. 85% do not even enjoy their job. I don't know, I think you guys can tell I'm like a little disturbed by this. Am I the only one who thinks this is like ridiculous? Okay, I'm not crazy then. I mean, I know it's easy to listen to this and kind of see it from a detached perspective, like what's going on out there, and yeah, it sucks for them, they're not happy, but you know, it'll be different for me, I'll be fine. And I hope you guys will be, but I think I forgot to mention that they surveyed 5,000 random households in the US, and that's a pretty large sample size. I mean, chances are they went to more or less the same college, probably had the same majors, and probably working at a job that a lot of us will be working in a couple of years from now. So what I want to do is I want to make this example a little bit more tangible to you guys. So there's 23 people in this room right now, and 15% of that is going to be about 3 people. So let's say Alex, Donarica, and Mike. You guys are going to love what you do. You're going to be so passionate. And the rest of you, good luck. That's the reality of the situation. The facts don't lie. It's clear that whatever the schools are doing, it's not working because most Americans are not happy, are not passionate, and do not enjoy what they do. And some of you may be wondering, well, why is it like this? Well, I think one of the biggest reasons is that school or college simply prepares you for a job, or at best, a career. And some of you may hear that and go, yeah, I mean, that's what they're supposed to do, right? That's why I went to college, to get a job. And that's exactly the kind of thinking that leads to those depressing statistics. Unfortunately, if you actually want to be passionate about what you do and be truly fulfilled by your job, there's another level that you have to go to beyond just a job or a career. And unfortunately, this level is not taught in many schools. However, it has crept its way into the college curriculum over at Harvard, and it's now being offered as a positive psychology course. And the teacher of that class, he actually wrote a book called Happier. And in this book, he talks about this model about the 3 different ways that we view our work. And the first way we view our job, or is a job, and people who view what they do as a job simply see it as a means to an end. They wake up in the morning and they go to work, and it's kind of what they have to do. It's a chore. They focus on the financial rewards of it rather than the personal fulfillment. They're not looking forward to the job. They're looking forward to the weekend, the paycheck at the end of the month, and the next vacation. Then the second way of looking at what you do is through the context of a career. And people who see what they do as their career, They are motivated primarily extrinsically by things like pay, advancement, power, prestige. They're usually looking forward to the next promotion. They're looking for, going from assistant editor to editor-in-chief, or from vice president to president, trying to climb the corporate ladder. And then the third way of looking at what you do is through the context of a calling. And this is what they fail to teach in schools. And the people who view what they do as a calling, they're still motivated by pay and advancement and all those things, but they do what they do primarily because they enjoy it. They feel a sense of meaning and purpose from what they do because they feel like they're making a difference, like their job is actually contributing to the lives of others. And that's what actually brings personal fulfillment in the workplace, is when it has meaning and it's not just something you're doing to survive. And unfortunately, this isn't taught in many schools. More time. To stress the importance of this one step further, I want to share a quote by a famous psychologist named Abraham Maslow. And the quote says, "The most beautiful fate, the most wonderful good fortune that can happen to any human being is to be paid for doing that which he passionately loves to do." So given how important this is, why is this not taught at school? It's arguably the number one priority. It should at least be a concern, or maybe like sprinkled into a class or two. I don't know. But the fact is it's not, and something needs to be done about it, but I'm not going to tell you guys to go out and do it because, quite frankly, I don't think it's going to change. And instead, all I suggest is that you simply spend some time thinking about what you actually want to do after college, what would actually make you happy, what would you love to do, and discover your calling so you don't end up being another miserable statistic.